Here are 10 awesome things you can do with Polymorph in D&D. Hey, if you're new to the channel, welcome. And make sure you like this video and hit Hey! Are you doing a YouTube promo? No, man. We're cool. I was just saying hi. I was just saying hi, like, hello. All right then. Let's go. 1. The Killer Whale Trap. If you're fighting an enemy, what do you polymorph them into? Well, obviously something weak, right? Like a rat or a spider or... Wrong! See, the problem with polymorphing an enemy into something weak, like a rat, is that it has very few hit points, which means if they're fighting with allies and the allies are smart, they can just stamp on the rat, and then it turns back into a human. Consider instead turning them into a killer whale. They can't move on land, so they're basically trapped, and they've got a ton of hit points, so their buddies won't be able to knock them back to normal. You've essentially one-hit KO'd an enemy in one spell. Plus, you've just created an enormous obstacle on the battlefield for your enemies to deal with. Just don't get too close to the killer whale, cause, yeah, those things bite. 2. The Barbarian Cannon. Polymorph your barbarian into a rock snail, and then use him as ammunition in a sling to fire towards an enemy out of reach. When the snail smashes into them, the polymorph will drop, and a very pissed off barbarian will emerge, ripe and ready to rip and tear. It's basically the D&D version of the Ant-Man arrow trick. 3. Is that a snail in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me? Oh, what's that? You're only letting one person visit the Evil King at a time for safety. Well, that's fine. It's just me. I'm alone. Just a normal guy with a pocket full of living, slimy snails. Sure, it might seem weird to you, but in France, that's basically common. You can also polymorph people into snails to kidnap them, by the way, or rescue prisoners by sneaking them out in your pocket. 4. It's raining cats and dogs. Flying enemies suck to fight, especially if you're a melee character with no range. Well, instead of turning your fighter into a flying creature to have an aerial battle, although that does sound awesome, consider instead turning the enemy into a cow and letting it fall to the ground. Sure, the falling damage might revert it back to its true form, but it will be grounded for 1 round, and that's usually enough time for everyone to dogpile it and finish it off. 5. The Polymorph Stack. Rules lawyer time. Okay, so, according to the Player's Handbook, page 205, the effects of the same spell cast multiple times don't combine. However, instead, the most potent effect from those castings applies while their durations overlap.
Kaboom! You've been lawyered.
Basically, this means if you polymorph an already polymorphed creature, it will change forms again. Now that means you can polymorph someone into a T-Rex and then have someone else polymorph them into an ape. Then, if the ape looks like it's getting into trouble during combat, you simply have the second mage drop concentration, which means the polymorph spells are no longer overlapping and the first one takes effect, instantly turning it into a T-Rex. Just make sure if you do want to stack polymorphs like this, you always make the change happen before the first form reaches 0 hit points. And remember, polymorph only lasts 1 minute. 6. Power word kill. Do you ever just want to murder someone? Well, it doesn't matter how strong they think they are. Simply polymorph them into a beast with less than 100 hit points and hit them with a power word kill. They will instantly die. They don't drop to 0 hit points, they don't revert to their form beforehand, straight up it's just simple, clean, and probably violates the Geneva Convention. 7. Seduction. Oh yeah, I'm going there. So one of my player characters is a vegan, and he just will not hurt animals. But sometimes, no matter what you do, you piss off the wrong giant ape. But as a final resort to avoid combat, if you really don't want to kill a noble beast, try polymorphing into one of its species. And you know, I'm just saying, if you turn into a very sexy giant ape, I mean, being good looking never hurt anyone when it came to negotiating. If you're willing to, take one for the team, this is an option worth trying before a fight. And if it all goes wrong and you end up fighting anyway, you start combat pre-polymorphed. So, you know, win-win. 8. Scouting. If you don't have a druid on hand with wild shape, polymorph is an excellent alternative for scouting missions. Just remember that polymorph creatures do have the stats of the beast you choose, so make sure you choose something with high perception and a reasonable intelligence. Honestly, owls really are the best way to go. 9. Stealing. Okay, so when you polymorph, all items you are holding merge into your form, and you can't use them. So, hear me out. Maybe you could just, I don't know, grab that really expensive vase and hold onto it for a few seconds, and then polymorph into a hawk and fly out of there at 80 miles per hour. Now, I'm not saying it's an ethical thing to do, but it's definitely like an option, especially if they just refuse to bargain with you. 300 gold for a potion of healing, and they call me the thief. 10. Healing. Healing, oh my god, Polymorph is a busted healing spell. A 4th level spell that gives you 100 plus temporary hit points and gives you a boost in con saves. Yeah, sign me up. For this reason, Polymorph gets stronger the later you use it in a fight. Save it for when someone's nearly knocked out and out of spell slots. They get a tasty hit point boost, and the fact that they can't cast spells doesn't matter, since they've burned all their spell slots already. If you liked this video, hit the like button, and there's a ton more busted stuff you can do with Polymorph on my channel. Link up there. Hit subscribe, and thanks for watching.